Mm,
Okay, folks, super excited to talk to this filmmaker, actor, director, writer. He's a little bit of everything. He's joining us from Austria, and I'm so thrilled that he's able to stay awake because it's not too late over there. The gentleman's name is Mike Haberfellner. I was very fortunate to do a special screening of the film ready for my close-up. So we're going to start the panel off by talking a little bit about Mike. One of the things that I know about you, because you dedicate most of your life and most of your livelihood to film, um, Search My Trash is a great example of that. I want
thank
to
you. Yeah.
ask, what is it about the film genre itself that intrigues you or excites you so much that you dedicate your life to this?
I think it's like the fullest way of storytelling, where you can where you not just have words. I love to write, by the way. So and but you have everything. You have like the visuals, the music,
Mhm.
the acting, and the words, of course. So
Yes.
so it's kind of it kind of takes me in more than anything else.
Mm.
And as I said, I love to write. Just I've written a novel, I've written short stories, uh, and and I love to read. I love to listen to music, but film is something special.
Yes, absolutely. If I were to ask you, because you are in a country that's not ours, we have very serious concerns over here about the future of film, meaning every time we turn around, you've got another project. Beetlejuice, for instance, was an inch away from going to streaming. Roadhouse 2 automatically went to streaming. How do you feel the condition of the film industry is faring over where you are?
It's in Austria we traditionally don't have a big film scene because
Mm,
we're a small country, and we speak German, which German is spoken in Germany, of course, Austria,
yes.
and parts of Switzerland. So that's all the market we have. So our and if you make a film in Austria, it's not a guarantee that it's sold to Germany.
Oh,
You
right.
know,
I get it.
so eventually we just fall down to a potential of 9 million viewers, but that's all of Austria.
Oh, I
So
get you.
not
Okay.
everybody will watch the film. So you're down to a few 100,000. So in a way, it's maybe it's better for our film industry than probably the American film industry because we have a another outlet that when we can't put something on in the cinemas, which is
Mhm.
very difficult in Austria, but we can at least put it on some stream or maybe.
I get you. Okay. Yeah. Well, and the streaming thing too, that's another component. Are you noticing over there that there is a gravitating back to the theater? Because we are genuinely concerned about is the theater itself is the hub for film and a lot of the
Yeah,
minds here. So are they still going back in droves? Do you think it's sufficient enough for them to sustain financially?
I think so. I think so, actually. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there'll always be closures of theaters, but also, new venues coming and maybe a little bit different venues and stuff. Uh, but I think you can never dissuade people from going to a theater.
Sure.
There was obviously a downturn during all the lockdowns, so
Right.
we still have to somehow come back from that. And I think especially since everybody started streaming films back when.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a bit a bit is the word detrimental? Does that make sense? Or
Yeah.
did I just make this up?
No, no, no. I think that makes sense. I think I follow what you're
Okay.
saying. Mhm.
Yeah, okay, good.
Thank you.
So like, yeah, I mean, it might not be quite as big as it was 5 years ago
Yeah,
before everything,
sure.
but I think we can keep this level it is now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And the other thing that I want to ask about, because we had talked about this off camera, tell everybody a bit about, because I know that it might be beneficial for filmmakers financially or from a convenience standpoint. What benefit is there to filming in Austria?
in Austria, the one thing Austria really has, we have a really good tax incentive program at the moment in the works, but that's something very new
Okay.
because countries like Hungary or Romania have been doing, or Czech Republic have been doing that for years.
Okay.
So now we finally realized, oh, we can do this too. We can also, attract foreign productions.
Yes.
So so I can't really tell you if we got the studio facilities and the workforce yet
Mm,
to accommodate everybody, but I mean
okay.
it's getting there. It's getting
Eh,
there. So it's at least a good opportunity to look into if you want something European in the world, or really want to just save on budget or whatever.
Yeah, budget's always a big thing, of course. And fun fact, it's only like 8 hours if you fly from New York to Austria. So is that
Yeah.
the end of the world? It's really not. It's not like going like around the globe, etc. So it's just a good thing to think about, of course.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean you don't do the 8 hours every day, just at the beginning and then at the end. So
yes,
so
there you go. I
it's not your commuting.
Yes. Since you are a filmmaker, first and foremost, I want to ask you a question about this. What we're seeing more and more of is Hollywood having these very exorbitant budgets. And a lot of people I speak to, whether they're on the critic side or filmmaker side or even just a regular patron, a lot of us are asking ourselves, all that money that they're spending, the end result product has not been the greatest for the last year or two. So I guess my question to you is do you think there'll come a point where studios will literally align with either international filmmakers or us over here to try to merge the two worlds so that we can make great cinema together instead of just the whole Hollywood, here's our millions and millions.
My hope is yes, because I mean, you know, it's come to a point where it's really gotten ridiculous with budgets and stuff,
Yeah,
and and uh, but at the same time, many of the really big budget movies, they don't make the money back.
right. I
You
know.
know, if you see what were the last few, flops, uh,
Trying to
I don't
think.
know, but a few of the Marvel movies or like DC movies, the whole superhero stuff that had everything, that avalanched over everything for a time,
Mhm.
and now these movies, they're not doing that great anymore.
I know.
So so eventually somebody, I mean, it's always hard for Hollywood studios for some reason to read the signs of the time. Instead, they think, yeah, we just try it again, and we just throw more money at it. And I'm thinking that can't. I mean, you should probably, you know, go for better writers, because many of
Yeah.
these films, they are not well written. They're
Oh,
not well
amen.
written, and
Amen.
and you read the same name of writers time and again and again and again and again and I sometimes think, without naming names, you give that guy another chance after that stinker.
Right?
you know, you know.
Yes.
I mean, why?
Yeah, Elite
And
Club. You should
again,
start looking at us. Start looking at
yeah,
us. These people.
exactly.
An independent film, I mean, we make more films in a year, I think, than Hollywood does, without a
Oh,
doubt. We're
definitely,
on set more often,
definitely.
making more, spending less, and doing more. That's a big
Amazing.
component. So yeah, Hollywood, watch this interview and give
Mhm.
us money. It's that simple.
Exactly. Yeah,
Not really
yeah.
that simple, but
Much money. I always want to be the guy who just writes movie after movie, even to
there you
fail.
go. Don't we all? I want to ask you about the fact that obviously, besides the writing and the directing and the producing, you also do act. And so I know that acting isn't always number one on your list. So tell everyone why it is that you select certain roles that you take. And moreover, what's the difference between the actor and the director?
Uh, that's what roles? I think I think it should be roles that I'm believable at. I'm probably not the dashing leading man or Errol Flynn or something, So I'm not doing that. But
Sure.
some character role, yeah, yeah. I mean, as long as I think I can do it, or somebody else thinks I can do it, because
Right.
that was on the last film I made. That was like the director called me like really the night before. Hey, I heard you're coming to England tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, you want to come down to Brighton to film something? Oh, okay, okay. So then I came down to set, and I was like, uh, so what am I playing? And you play that and that and that and that. Okay. Do you have a script or something?
Uh-huh.
No, no, you improvise it. And I'm like, huh.
And there it was, just like that, right? That's kind of
And there, but yeah, I mean, he trusted me, so I thought, yeah, maybe I can do that, and he was really pleased with what I did. So
sure.
so
I get you.
I think and I think you just have to come to the mindset. Uh, would I have failed? Then it would have been on him because he
Sure.
hired me.
Yeah.
I didn't even audition for the job. He just called me out of the blue, and yeah, you want to do that tomorrow? And I'm like,
Cool.
no, okay, okay. It was a great experience. So the film is teasers by Kieron Davis.
Okay. I
Sorry,
get you.
he's got some Irish names. I never know how to pronounce it.
And so Mike the actor versus Mike the director, what's the biggest difference?
Well, but I'm not a director. Uh, I'm a writer. I'm a producer. I don't direct actually.
Would you say that though? Because I kind of feel like there are certain circumstances where you kind of are. I mean, I always feel like writers have some directing responsibility. Does that make sense? That's where I derive that from because I know who
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are. But I'm like, is it possible? Because oftentimes when you go on a set, is the writing itself not kind of the Bible for the entire thing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at least I hope, and that's
Yes,
why I always insist to be on set when my films are
absolutely.
made.
So I guess maybe then we'll twist it a bit and then we'll say, okay, we have Mike the writer over here, we have Mike the actor
Yeah.
over here. Is there
Mhm.
something different between the two of them? Biggest difference between one versus the other?
I think, yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely huge difference. I think because as a writer, you have to be controlled. As a writer, you pretty much sit in front of your screen
Yes.
and have to be structured and everything. But as an actor, you have to let it out and be a person you are not.
Yes.
So I'm like I I enjoy acting. I'm probably not the best actor on the planet, but definitely not the worst. So
So there you go. He's an average actor according to him. Not the worst, not the greatest. He's just kind of there.
yeah, I mean, I'll try, and as long as I can convince myself I'm not the best actor, I can try to be better.
I get it. I do.
And
Um,
and I've really seen actors that are worse than me. So
I mean, there's the that can be said about writers and directors and everybody though.
oh,
So
absolutely, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're fine. You were just fine. Thank you.
Thank
Um,
you.
before we start talking about the movie itself, tell everyone what Search My Trash is.
Search My Trash is a movie review site where I review pretty much all sorts of movies.
Hmm.
I have a focus on horror because that's pretty much my genre,
Yes, it is.
but but I definitely want to totally expand beyond that because you know cinema is so full of different stuff, and just to be stuck on one thing over all the others, that's just not me. That's
Yes.
just not me. You need I don't think if you do something like that, you need a horizon. I mean, if you only know everything about zombie movies, you'll pretty much you know wither away eventually. And I want it to be very very inclusive for everything. And but one of the uh, a real focus is on independent movies because
Okay.
like I mean everybody's writing about big budget mainstream Hollywood movies anyway, so
Sure.
they don't need my voice. But many of the indies do need my voice.
There
At
you
least
go.
that's what they tell me. So
Absolutely.
I'm like,
I
I'm
was just
very
gonna
happy
say,
about
of
this.
course, everyone needs to hear your voice, and it's a great platform because you do so many. I mean, you're diverse in terms of I don't just cover this genre or this type of series, etc. Um, and so I highly recommend it. But I've been highly recommending him for quite some time,
Thank
so no
you.
surprise there. So search my trash. We don't want to forget about
Yeah.
that. Okay,
One thing, yeah, one thing I also have to add, yeah, and I'll also do lots of interviews with filmmakers, with actors.
you do.
There's also that level, you know, beyond just the reviews. There's a little bit of oral history, if you want to call it that.
Absolutely. And he's very good at it. I mean, I'm telling you, you need to support him. Even if you don't read every single thing that he does, support is so important because a lot of us don't get seen and a lot of us feel like our work is not getting seen. So it does matter. Um, Ready for My Close-Up was done originally in 2019, 30-minute production. So, first thing I want to ask you about this is you wrote this with Lynn Lowry, who also is a lead in the film. So,
Yeah.
talk to me a bit about how that relationship came about.
Oh, well, it came about like when I was making Talk of the Dead, which was pretty much the short that led to my feature film. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as zombies. Uh, yeah, we were just preparing. Suddenly, I got an email from Lynn, and she says she wants to be in this project, and I'm like, whoa, is it even real Lynn Lowry there? I actually did some checking, and it was a real Lynn Lowry,
Okay.
obviously.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and then I thought, yeah, sure, come over, and then we did Talk of the Dead, and we both really enjoyed it, and she enjoyed my writing, I enjoyed her acting,
Okay.
and so the year after, I hired her for First Impressions Can Kill. That was
Ah.
another show of ours,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year we did Espresso to Die For, which I still haven't finished, I have to admit.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know, but still working on it because it's darn funny, but things got out of hand. Things got out of hand with other stuff. So
Things happen.
yeah, exactly. So and basically, how to put this? I ran out of money pretty much, and
There you
I
go.
I couldn't hire her for another movie, and so she was like, yeah. But would you write a screenplay if I found somebody who would produce it? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I can do that. So yeah, so the next year then we made Ready for My Close Up,
You bet.
and
Okay. And that was shot
and
in the UK, right?
that was shot in the UK. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And was there a reason for that? Is it just because she was there or
Oh, for it to be shot in the UK
yeah.
because the producer was there, and
Oh, got it.
everybody
Got it.
was, but me and Lynn were British on that film. So
Got it. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm just trying to clear that up as far as that goes. And
oh, okay, yeah.
and those of you who haven't seen the movie, I'll skirt around it because obviously I don't want to give away everything. But one of the things that's so neat about Lynn's character is that she's so versatile, switching between costumes, personalities. You see a
Oh
different
yeah.
side of her. I mean, ultimately it's the same goal, so to speak. If you watch it,
Mhm.
you'll see what I mean. But I mean, just that range. How much, I mean, I feel like she probably didn't need much preparation for this. So do you have any idea? Do you know how labor intensive this was for her as far as the role?
I actually I don't know, no, but I
Oh,
mean
okay.
she's like she loves to do that, you know. I mean
Yeah.
when she saw when she saw the first version of the script, she was like, yeah, it's very good, but could I have a monologue?
Mm,
Yeah, okay, of course you give the L'Oreal monologue if she
right.
wants one.
Right.
So obviously, uh, she's okay with all the work she has to put into it. If she
Sure.
demands an extra monologue in a movie that's made about her, anyways.
Absolutely. One of the things that we like to talk about is technique and how you do things on set. In your movie, I know that there's an abundant usage of, like I said, the costumes, there's weapons, things like that. So when you're working with that sort of thing and you need to have an abundance of it on the cheap, what do we
Mm.
do about that? How do we keep this budget friendly?
Uh, First of all, borrow from friends.
I knew it. I knew that was it.
So yeah, much of it was either borrowed from friends or in the producers. The living room you see is actually the
Okay.
producer's living room, and
Oh,
he had
nice.
all this film memorabilia, anyways. So
Okay, I gotcha.
we just stuck up some posters of her movies I made up.
Yes.
So to make this more about her, but the whole house it was filmed in was the producer's house, because yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And I
That,
figured it was sort of that, the guerrilla filmmaking, where we borrow things, we try to sneak things, we do this or
yeah,
this, as far as
yeah.
that goes.
No, I mean we actually snuck into an actual graveyard for one scene, for a zombie scene.
And you didn't get caught? Good for you.
No, no. But he was like saying, "Yeah, no, I mean we filmed there a lot, so don't even care about it."
Oh my goodness gracious. Now, your movie centers around an actor,
Mm,
a very different kind of actor, I have to say. And what's interesting is that we kind of watch the progression of her in your typical movies, because you run along the horror side of things. I would have expected creepy, intensely bloody, like more so, you know what I mean? That sort of stuff.
mm.
Some people might even call them campy, in a good way as far as that goes.
Oh, yeah,
This
absolutely.
this is a little different for you, I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but I do feel like it has a different tone, a different feel to it. And so were you a little less comfortable with that because it is kind of outside of your comfort zone to a degree?
No, I can't say that. No, I think no, I was like good with that.
Okay, good
I
deal.
was like, yeah, yeah.
Before we know it,
No,
Mike will be doing romance and being like, yeah, I'm doing rom-coms now. I know it's not horror anymore, but I might just do that.
no, but I always try to put humor into everything I do.
Absolutely.
So, and the whole camp side of things that was actually, from all the movies I've seen, like this, the real movies, the fake movies were based on. So
Yeah.
so that was like more like parody.
Mm. And that's my next question, actually. There's a lot of very funny, very campy humor in the course of this movie. So what I want to ask you is when people talk about making film, comedy and horror are usually the top two that are really super hard to sell. So when you were looking at doing this and writing it, how did you keep it funny enough to where you knew the audience was going to embrace it? Because that's really the key, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's a hard question for me, because
I'm
like
sorry.
no, 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 that's all right. That's all right. It makes me think. It's
That's
never
the
a bad
point.
thing. Exactly. Uh, 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 and now I've lost my train of thought.
And we can come back to that if you want to mull it over. Like, okay, because I really think that's the whole part of it is people who make funny films, whether it's campy or just flat out humor, it's still a tough sell. I really feel like you have to be top of the game, being so super funny that everybody loves it, or otherwise it's a struggle for them to say, yeah, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Likewise with horror, if it's not like Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers, you're really trying to keep your audience. So I guess that's really what I'm getting at is how
I
did you,
see.
in the writing, ensure you'd have an audience?
Uh, yeah. It's I'm always like for really growing the plot organically.
Yeah.
So like I know where I am, where I want to go, and these are the beats I have to hit, and so you like tie it up and try to think outside the box to
Yeah.
to add comedy to the proceedings,
Yes.
and so it's like really uh it, it basically it comes to me, and I just try to think and overthink and think again everything before I put a single words to in writing. So
Okay.
I don't sketch my I don't do sketches of what I write.
Okay.
I just once I can tell myself the story in my mind,
Okay.
then everything just flows out.
Nice. That's nice,
And
actually.
And yeah, and as for the comedy, I'm just really saying stupid stuff is just my thing.
So it's easy for him to do this because he just does it in real
Pretty
life.
much,
So it's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
pretty
There's the
much, yeah.
spirit. Well, I have to ask about the musical score because I just absolutely love that, especially the guitar stuff. I was like, oh, this fits so perfectly. Where did you find that? Was it a composer or did you piece things together or?
That was actually the director also
Oh,
did the score. Yeah, he's a musician first and foremost.
nice. Okay.
So so that was really easy to find because like we hadn't do anything, didn't have to do anything. Director was also the musician and editor, so he had like a full, a full a view of the full picture.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay, gotcha. Now, you play Craig in this film, so tell everybody a bit about your character and his role during
Uh,
the
uh,
film.
yeah, I mean he's basically just a food delivery guy
Yep.
who's like he's a bit awkward. So it was really easy for me to play.
Yes. I kind of
And
figured that.
yeah, and yeah, there's really not much to him. He's like this underpaid guy who doesn't even like to deliver food.
Yes.
And then he comes to that woman who dresses weird, and first thing she tells him is he doesn't look Asian, which yeah, I know.
Yes.
And so it's like he's the guy who feels awkward and gets into an awkward situation, and so and I think we've all been down that road. I know I have.
Absolutely all of us. And even though it was short, it's memorable. I think a lot of these short little moments that happen within this film are like, oh yeah, and you're like, okay, this is very neat or this is very cool, because if someone were to ask me ready for my close-up, what I would say is I think this is a combination of it's a story about the woman's relationship, not only with herself, but with her passion. Now, granted, there's a level of absurdity and obsession that comes along with that.
No,
However,
absolutely.
I do think at the root of it, it really is someone who is searching and has become so desperate to be that person they want to be that they're
Mm.
willing to do anything for it. But I'm not the writer. So if I were to say to you, Mike, give us two sentences only, what's ready for my close-up?
Uh, it's yeah, an actress trying to hold on to her past,
Yes.
but she does it in a very, say, homicidal way.
Yes, that's very well put, actually. Yes. And great performance by Lynn Lowry, of course. I mean, who doesn't like her? I mean, she's just, if you don't know who she is, you need to look her up. Lynnlowry. She looks like an absolutely lovely person, and she actually looks different than her character, which is probably a good thing, I would have to say. Um, besides its recent screening at Art is Alive, so if people actually want to see the movie, are they going to be able to do that?
Uh, Not at the moment. We hope soon, but
We're working on it. We really
yeah,
are working on it
yeah,
moment by
yeah.
moment. I saw that you had a project listed. Now, Espresso to Die For, what's going on with that?
That's it. That's just in post production.
Okay,
There's been so much going on since we shot that I really had to postpone it and postpone it and postpone it and postpone it. It's really funny movie once it comes out, but
sure.
you know, and it's like I mean, the problem with shorts is you don't really have the markets you have for feature films.
I know.
So you basically, if you make a short, you have to, you might not make any money at all.
I know.
So and so yeah, that's where we're at the moment. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what develops because there might be you know, uh, plenty of room for that somewhere.
Yeah. No, I get you. Um, and then if folks want to find you, besides Googling Search My Trash and going onto your site, any other places that you're on social media or otherwise?
I'm on social media. prefer mostly on Facebook.
Yep.
I do have an Instagram, but I don't look it up all that often.
Okay.
I actually do have a Twitter, even if it's not called that anymore, but
It
I
is,
don't
I think
care.
it's Axe.
I don't, yeah, one of the letters at least.
Yes.
But yeah, but I don't think anybody else is doing it anymore. So,
Hit or
but
miss.
I'm 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 on it. So if somebody wants to get in touch with me there, okay.
Yep.
Then I've got a production company in England that's called Haverfellner and Bamiki and Haverfellner Worldwide. We have
Yes.
a website that's bamikiandhaverfellner.com.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's but that website needs an update.
I
So
get you. Okay.
don't look at it too closely. But
Okay.
and of course, searchmytrash.com.
Search my trash. I would automatically go right there. His name is Mike Haverfellner. What I have to say to this wonderful man is he has been repeat business. We were fortunate enough to meet each other in LA for the very first time years ago. And ever since then, it's just been just the most wonderful relationship. And not only has it been wonderful for me, he's been wonderful. He was wonderful to my partner and of course to my filmmakers. And I have an endless debt of gratitude for you
Thank
and
you.
your presence.
You always were wonderful too, so you deserve it.
Gosh, thank you.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. So, hey, everybody, if you can't watch Ready to for my close-up yet, you can certainly go and watch anything and everything on Search My Trash and anything, everything Mike Haberfellner. So
Yeah,
do it, please. Thank you.
exactly.